not going to go. They're not going to go away. And they went in zone, and we did not handle it very well. It was a great move on their part. It slowed us down, and then we didn't get the movement that we wanted, and that's on me. But the fact is that we defended the way that we're capable of, and made big shots when they made a push to get back. And Santi, through that stretch, I think he scored 7, 8, 9 points somewhere there, which was a big part of the game to give us a little bit more breathing room.
All right, let's go ahead and go to questions. Let's just start right here in the middle on the front.
Coach, the old March cliche is guard play gets more important. What do you think about the play you're getting from those three guys right now, Josiah and Santi and Kennedy?
Well, it is, and when you think about our guard play, they pretty much have we in the past, Rob, we've been more of a inside out, throw it to a post guy, play through, but these guys have learned to give us a post presence with their cutting and their penetration with the ball. It's again, the way they've grown into the confidence they have for each other is really something that we're all proud of. And as you know, it is key. It really is. But all of them at different times throughout the game today made big plays for us.
Okay, let's stay on the front row right here.
Rick, as your team was getting the trophy, Donnie Plowman, Danny White were over there getting it, and you were standing far off to the side, just kind of watching and clapping. Why was it important to you to be over there, and what was that scene like for you?
Well, I think it's their time. I've been doing this a long time, and I kept telling them the last couple of days, this time of year is about players. It's not going to be about plays and this and that. It's going to be about players and players making plays. And I think it's something that they'll forever enjoy throughout their life. And I've been doing this a long time, and I think it's their time. I really do. I think it's their time, and I'm so proud of them because I know the work they've put in, how hard they've trained, and again, I just think it's their moment. It's their time to get the trophy. It's their time to cut the nets down, and they came to Tennessee to help us make it a special place. They've done that, but it's truly their time.
All right, we're going to stay with players for our questions for Coach. Let's stay on the front row right here. Go ahead.
Rick, it's been a while since Tennessee did this. Why was this weekend different? Why was today different?
I think it started a year ago. When we had lost, we came back, and I remember had an article I read about Michael Jordan talking about leadership. And I actually said to him, I don't think we can go any further unless it comes from you guys. And from that day, Josiah, Santi, those two guys in particular, I think not only because, when they were out with injuries, their involvement, it was incredible, the leadership where it changed. But I really felt like about a month ago, a little bit over a month ago, when they started coaching each other during the game, where they were open to each other, even if it was something, hey, that's a tough shot. We got to get better. And we said for us to move forward, we're going to have great leadership because we've always been a team that practiced hard and done all those type things. But in the game and watching these guys take over and talk, communicate, it's been fun. But that's where it started with a year ago with them deciding that, hey, the leadership had to really come from within, and we've gotten it.
All right, front row left. Go ahead.
Rick, I'm just wondering what this particular achievement means to you and your players. It seemed like there was a lot of emotion afterward, especially with John Fulkerson and a lot of the guys.
Well, I said it, I think yesterday, this time of year, everybody wants to win. They want to keep winning. That's what we do. But Fulky, I've been at the University of Tennessee 7 years. He's been a part of 6 of them. And last year was a tough year for him and the way it ended, but for him to come back, and I think the emotion that he's carried for a long time. He went into a totally different role this year, which he fully accepted. But you look at him and you look at our teams. We're like all teams. You go through the ups and downs of being on the roller coaster of a college basketball season. But these guys have had the chemistry amongst themselves where they have all, in so many ways, stepped aside and with whatever they might have as their own goals to say the biggest thing is this team and this program, and they pull for each other, they play for each other, and it's really fun to see. But I think this time of year, when you talk about teams that are winning, I think that's probably the common denominator with most of them.
All right, we're going to go to student athlete questions here, and so we can get them out. Raise your hand, questions for any of the student athletes. Start right on the front row in the middle.
Josiah, coach just mentioned chemistry. You're a big part of that. It seems like. What can you speak to the chemistry on this team, and how do you feel that shows up on the court?
I mean, this is by far, I've said it since the summertime or early in the season, that this was the closest group of the closest team that we've had since I've been here. And that's no knock on any other team. But it's just a praise to this team about how much we care about each other on and off the court. I mean, last year was tough because of COVID. I think that this year we came into a role where we really didn't want to take anything for granted. So we started doing more things on and off the court, just to build our chemistry, just to hang out more. And we truly do like each other. We really do. The brotherhood that we have in this locker room, like I wouldn't want any other guys in that locker room. I wouldn't trade them for the world. And so I think that just helps us on the court. We know we've been playing with each other for a pretty good, a long time now. And so we have a feel for each other. But I mean, I feel like this chemistry is second to none.
Okay, question in the middle on the front row.
Maybe there was a leadership void after that loss to Kentucky at Rupp. Just kind of what changed in the last month and a half that kind of allowed you to turn this season around and cut the Nets down today.
I just feel like we just kept chipping away at it. I feel like everything happens for a reason. We started off the SEC play 2-3, and a lot of people doubted us, but we in the locker room, everybody, coaches and players included, never really held our heads down. We just came in and worked each and every day. And that's what Coach Barnes requires. That's what our coaching staff requires. And that's what we started to require out of each other, just to keep getting better each and every day. We knew it was a long season, but it's just a daily grind here. And so I feel like we kept taking steps to get better, and we still have a long way to go, but that's what led us to this point today.
Okay, question on the front row on the left.
Josiah, Rick mentioned that this started a year ago with that article about Michael Jordan and leadership. How vivid are your memories of that moment? Was that after Oregon State or after the SEC tournament?
It's very vivid. It was after Oregon State, and I remember sitting in the locker room, and it was just a long passage. And that was the day we got back from wherever we were, Indianapolis. And that was the first thing when we came together as a group this year over the summer. That was the first thing he put up. So it's the last thing from last season and the first thing from this season. Just talking about leadership, how hard it is. You're not going to be liked all the time, and how Michael Jordan led his team and what type of leader he was. And so that memory is very vivid. And so he preached that at the start of the season, and it just kind of spewed out of everybody else, because we, like three guys up here, especially Santi, I mean, we took it on our shoulders because we didn't like how last season ended. And so we just tried to do what Coach asked of us, and it led us to this point.
Let's get a question on the second row right here, and then we'll come right to the front row on the aisle.
Kennedy, you get an injury your ankle 2-3 minutes into the first game this weekend. Just what did it mean for you to win MVP and play through that injury?
That wouldn't have happened without these two guys and my teammates for me to be able to make that happen. I know that I twisted my ankle, but, I wanted to fight through, come back and play with my guys, win the SEC championship. And that's what happened today.
Okay, question front row. Go ahead.
This is for Josiah and Santi. When you guys kind of got done cutting the net, you guys looked for him pretty fast and ran to put that net around his neck. What did that mean to you to be able to do that? And what was that moment like for both of you?
Josiah?
This man right here means the world to me. I mean, I owe him my life. He took a chance on me. He gave me the opportunity to go to the University of Tennessee to be coached by him. And I never want to take it for granted. And so just to see all of our hard work, I mean, he pushes us each and every day. He never takes a day off. And so, I mean, it's just a lot of emotion came out of us, but we have to credit him, because without him, we wouldn't be here. And without him, I wouldn't be half the player, half the man I am. And so, I mean, I just have so much love for him.
Going off what Joe said, I think Coach means a lot to every single one of us in the team. He was one of the biggest parts in this whole process. I think in terms of leadership, he did a great job too, especially setting us up for also like being leaders ourselves. And whenever we were cutting the net, Joe came up to me and we looked at each other and we're like, yeah, we need to get coach. Like, we know he's not going to go up there to get it. So we know how much he means for every single one of us and for the whole team. So we wanted to share that moment with him too, especially knowing that he took a chance on every single one of us coming to the University of Tennessee, coaching us, and he puts the work every single day. He's probably watched more film than anybody else in this world. So he puts the work every single day. And I think, we just wanted to share that moment, that really cool moment with him.
All right, we'll take a couple more. Let's take one in the back on the aisle, and then we'll come right down to the front row.
For any of you guys, how well do you think you guys defended here this week, and especially defending the three-pointer?
Santiago, would you take that one?
Yeah. I think that the whole team did a great job. I think the defensive part, it's our identity. That's what we thrive for. And I think also coaches are doing a really good job putting us in a good spot to be successful, putting us in the great spot to, in terms of scouting, knowing who we're playing against, how do we have to guard every single team. They did a great job with that. And also I think the players did a great job also. We did a great job putting our bodies in the line every single time, leaving everything, our hearts and our bodies on the court on every single play. And we just wanted it. So we knew what it was going to take. So I think we did a terrible effort on the court. It was just amazing to see everybody put their body on the line.
Question?
You could have gone anywhere in the country and you chose to play for him. How satisfying is it to have the seasons you had, win the SEC tournament, win the MVP award? You feel like, it kind of went according to plan?
Were you asking him that 2 months ago or today?
I came to Tennessee for a reason. I knew Coach Barnes was going to push me to be the best player I could be. And that's what we did from the jump, just by watching film with him. I came to Tennessee and thought I was going to come in here. It's going to be easy. But Coach Barnes let me know that every game is going to be difficult. Every game is not going to be easy. You're going to see different things, different reads. And that's one thing that I've learned since I came to Tennessee. He's taught me so much. I can't even say all of them, honestly, but I just love him for that. And I know that I want him to push me every single day to be the best player I could be. And that's what he's done ever since I've been here.
All right, we're going to excuse the players. You can return to the locker room.
Thank you.
And let's pick back up with questions for Coach. Let's start right back in the way back there.
Hey, Rick. So going back to that Texas game where Josiah missed that shot at the end, it seemed like there was something about that missing the shot, and he took over the next 4 to 5 weeks and took his game to a different level. Did you notice anything from that?
Yeah. I didn't put a lot of emphasis on me going back to Texas. I just said, hey, this is business. I know they're going to do, and I'm appreciative of what they did. But Joe, I know how badly they wanted to win that game for me. I really did. And when I finally got to the locker room, Joe was very, very upset. And I said, hey, this is going to help us in the whole process of what we're trying to do. I love you for, again, because I know how bad he wanted that shot to go in. But that was really, in some ways, is a big turning point for, I thought, Kennedy. After the game, we've talked about it before, he had a real, I think, man-to-man talk with TJ Ford that would, I think, really helped him. He has had a total different focus since then, but I've never questioned Josiah. I mean, since he's been here, he came in, and think about it, he had to start out, we didn't have a point guard, he had to play it. And Santi came in, those two guys helped us really stabilize our program when it was teetering because of who we lost. Lamonte Turner getting injured, couldn't finish the year. But those two guys have been a dream, and any coach would want to coach them.
Let's go to the front row on the aisle.
How do you balance enjoying this and trying to quickly turn the page?
For me, I want those guys to enjoy it. I've never been one to enjoy a lot until after the season's over with and you reflect on it, because I'm always thinking, next. But I'm really happy that these guys, and they should enjoy it, because it's very hard to win a championship at any level, regular season, postseason, conference tournament. NCAA, it's hard. And when they do it, it's something they should enjoy it. And I'm really ecstatic for our program, but for these guys and for our university, I can't say enough again about our fans. You know, the ones that could get here, they were awesome. They made their presence felt here again today. But again, for me personally, I've said it before. The good Lord has blessed me in so many ways, and having a chance to be with this group has been special. My coaches, I can't say enough about them. I mean, Santi mentioned it, the job they do with our game preparation. It's just been phenomenal across the board. And again, the one thing I told them when they told me about cutting this, I said, I'm not cutting them down until you get Chad, Garrett, Mary Carter, all the people behind the scene that make this thing go that people don't realize. And I think it's great that they wanted to get our managers and GAs and everybody up there, because we really do have a special family. And all we talk about is getting better each day. And I think this group has tried to do that.
All right, next question in the middle, right here on the second row. There you go.
Y'all lost Eves, Keon, Jaden, and have gotten better defensively this year. Just how has that happened?
What?
How have y'all gotten better? How have y'all gotten better defensively after losing?
Well, I think a couple of things. Santi and Joe probably don't get enough recognition for their defense, and they're both in elite shape. I mean, if you really want to write a great story, ask Garrett about how many miles Santi has ran this year. He's probably ran, I'm going to say 30 miles, 40 miles more than anybody on our team, because when those guys are in practice, they don't want to come out unless we pull them out. You know, they want to stay, they want to get their work done like that. But, Speed, Zakai came in, he brought us something. I mean, really and truly, we thought we were going to redshirt Zakai. We did. When we thought I said to our guys during the summer, towards the end of the summer, I said, I don't want to ever be caught without a point guard. And I said, we always take projects, mostly post players. That's what we've always done. And then this was going on when the PGM was going on, and they said, well, hey, both Mike and Rob saw him, and they we got on him, and he came in late, as we know, but then his presence was felt very quickly. And I've said all along, he and Santi have been the biggest teachers for Kennedy, because the way Santi's relentless in the way he goes at it. And Kennedy, I will tell you, when he first got here, had no one ever defend him like Zakai, no one that defended him like Santi in a different way. But I think it started with that, the attitude in practice with those guys getting at it. And then we knew we had some young post guys and guys that had not ever been in primetime roles that we're going to have to get ready in the post. But and you guys have watched this practice. We start every day with our defense, and we'll continue to do that, obviously.
All right, front row on the left.
Yeah, Rick, talking about that the article of Michael Jordan, how difficult is it when you have a team of nice guys who like each other this much to get them to sort of be willing to be frank and open like that on the court?
Well, I think at the end of the year, when things end, and last year was a totally different year. So again, it was different in so many different ways. But coaching is hard in terms of you want to demand the very best from every player, and sometimes players feel like it's not the right way to go about it, and it's our job to figure out what is the best way to coach and motivate each and individual player. But with that said, the championship teams, the great teams, it comes from within. And basically that article was Michael Jordan talking about where he wasn't afraid, and he talked about how difficult it is to call your teammates out, but yet love them the same way off the court, but understand we're on the floor. We've got work to take care of. And the biggest thing was wanting to be coached in terms of letting your guard down and not being afraid to let your guard down and accept what you really are good at and be willing to work at the things that you need to work at. But and I can remember vividly when Joe and Santi were out early in the season, how hard they coached on the sideline, where they were constantly coaching the guys. And we had a lot of young guys out there, but and we're young. I mean, there's been times this year we've had 3 or 4 freshmen on the court, but again, their leadership, I think, is truly the difference in where we've been in the last couple of years.
All right, question in the back on the right.
Coach, in 1960, the U.S. beats Russia in the hockey, but the gold medal game's the next one. You spent a lot of emotional capital against Kentucky. How important was it to remind the guys one more step?
Well, we did address it, that we'd been here before, and that actually again today, I'll give really great credit to my coaches. They're always looking for angles to keep these guys present in the right now to stay in the moment. And Coach Gainey today pulled up a clip of Kobe Bryant, and they had up 2 games, and one of the reporters said, "Well, you don't seem like you're very happy." He said, "We're not done. We're not finished." And so because it's hard. I mean, they're kids and they should enjoy this, but we came here, we said, we started talking 4 or 5 weeks ago about every game's a playoff game, because we knew we still wanted to try to stay in the hunt for a SEC regular season championship. And we came here, the message was on Friday night, this is the championship game. We said yesterday, this is the championship game. And we said it again today, this is the championship game. That was something that Coach Sanderson always said, in tournament time, because if you don't play it like it, there will be no tomorrow. And but we also tried to just stay with our routine that we do. But there's, again, my assistants do just an incredible job, not only what we do as a team, but working behind the scenes, talking to them, delivering messages that we think each individual guys. And I will tell you this, the guys that don't play, it's really hard when you go to them and tell them, because when we go into a game, we don't know exactly how it's going to shake out. But I can't tell you how many times, for instance, BJ Bailey, Jemiah, Quentin, you got to be ready. And it's hard as a player to think, hey, maybe I'm going to get to play and not get to play. But the way those guys have continued to hold on to the rope, because we go into games thinking, hey, we might need those guys. And so, again, I'm really proud of not just the guys that we see out there, but it's those other guys that are in practice every day doing what they need to do to stay ready when their number is called.
We'll take 2 more quick questions, go to the middle there, and then we'll finish up right here on the front row.
You said you were planning on redshirting Zakai. Was there a specific instance or something that happened that changed your mind?
Yeah, the way he guarded right off the bat, his defense. And, I would have, if you'd have told me the first, and again, I'm still not so sure now, I would have told you I think he's the best shooter on our team. I mean, and then every time I walked through our practice facility, whatever time of day when we were done, he was in there working, and we kept telling him some things he had to work on. And he's a tough guy. You know what? He's very smart. He knows how to handle me. He does. He knows when I get mad, he just walks by me like my wife does, like, just, yeah, say what you want to say, but I got it, and which is smart. And I think that's part of leadership. I think Josiah and Santi have told those guys, coach is going to tell you how he feels, and don't take it personal. Just know that, just listen to him. And sometimes I probably more in practice than a game, I get emotional with him, because, I don't want to see mistake after mistake after mistake, and I can stop it. I can't during the game, but right off the bat, he had the DNA that this guy's he's going to play.
All right, last question right on the front row.
Rick, does it matter to you being a 2 or 3 seed, where you are regionally, and what about this team do you believe gives it a chance to make?
Well, again, I can sit up here and tell you, I said coming into this tournament, if any of the top 4 teams win the tournament, they should be on the 1 line. I've said that because I think our league is the best in the country. But so I learned a long time ago, you can talk, you're not going to politic for it, because I can say what I want to say. I just, again, want to compliment our league and again, the way they do things as a league, Commissioner Sankey and Dan Leibovich and what Mike Eads has done with our officials. I mean, this is the best basketball league in the country. And it's hard for me to believe too. And I get it, all the things, but when you go 9-9 in a league like this, it's hard for me not to think that we, again, I've said on a good year, we should have 7 teams in. On a great year, 8 or 9. And again, I don't care who you play in this league. There was not an easy game. And you look at the job that, again, it'll be a real mistake if Texas A&M is not in this tournament. I don't care about anything else, because what they've done and the way they have played here at the end of the year, and they deserve it. But again, 9-9 in this league, I'm partial to it, but wherever they put us, we'll go. Got to be ready to play, and But again, I'm happy for our guys and we'll see what happens going forward and got a new season starting again. We've got to be ready.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, guys.